Well, the situation is dire. It's pretty horrific. The scale of the impact is really beyond belief. I could never have imagined the floodwaters as high as they got. We've had whole towns completely submerged, whole neighborhoods in the city of Asheville completely underwater. Businesses gone, houses gone, a lot of people still missing. Roads are impassable, landslides, trees are down everywhere. One of the partners that we had at the county called it a biblical event, and that is the scale that we're talking about. The result of that has been it has basically wiped out our entire infrastructure. There's no power in a lot of places. There's very limited cell service. And I think probably most importantly is there's no water. There's no running water in the city of Asheville, which means drinking water, of course, but also for flushing toilets. There's taking showers. People don't have access to that water. We've heard stories of people pumping water out of the river to be able to go home and flush toilets. I think people are doing the best they can to rebuild that infrastructure at a time where they themselves have been personally impacted. We are very fortunate in that we have been able to account for every person on our team, and they are all safe. We have had a number of folks in our team who have sustained some very significant damage to their homes and their properties, and some have been displaced from their homes as a result of that, but they are safe. Just like in a lot of places, some of our team had to leave. They had small children or an elderly parent or loved one. People had to leave the community to go to where they could get access to resources, but they're working remotely and trying to chip in any way that they can. And I'd say we have probably 50 or 60% of our staff who are here working in person at all hours that they're physically able to work, alongside our partners at the county, at the city, number of community partners that we work with all the time to coordinate the response.
I'm Elizabeth. I've been working with the department within the EOC. It's the donations and volunteer pod, if you will, working on getting those things in. And so they are collecting information about what people's abilities are to provide either personal help or materials. Right now, they're focused on primarily personal hygiene items, non-perishable food items, water, obviously.
We are trying to gather the most up-to-date information about the resources that are available to residents, and then to get that information up onto our NC 211 platform so that when folks call 211, they have up-to-date information about the resources that are available in their community. We are collecting both financial donations and then also helping to coordinate the mass amounts of in-kind donations that are coming in way of the supplies that Elizabeth was just talking about. And then coordinating with our local partners how those funds will get distributed, because it's not just here in Buncombe County, it's throughout Western North Carolina, and for what purposes. And then also how those materials, how those supplies will get distributed out into the neighborhoods where they're most needed. We have that really unique and special combination of that hyper local network that's connected to this whole global ecosystem. And that's paying huge dividends in terms of pushing in resources, the donations, all of the supplies that are needed. It just wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have access to all of those different things if our United Way wasn't part of this global network of United Ways.